Blackbird Night School, Day 14. From Guilt to Forgiveness in Relationship. How one willing heart turns a special relationship holy. The room is small, lit by a single lamp, and two people sit across from each other while the real conversation happens in the mind, not in the space between them. Guilt is the first one to arrive in that space, sliding its chair between both people and whispering judgments like debts. It insists someone owes something. Someone failed. Someone should have known better. But the truth is simpler. Guilt never talks about the mind listening to it. And something changes when even one person gets tired of listening. That is where tonight's story begins. The boat story. Two people row a boat in circles because each one rows toward their own grievance, pulling the boat into the same old spin. This is the special relationship, repeating itself with perfect consistency. Then one person quietly sets down their oar, not as surrender, not as sacrifice, but as willingness to stop rowing toward the past. The boat stops spinning. The other person may still row, still pull, still replay old storms, but the center of gravity has changed. The whole system obeys the one who puts the oar down. This is the beginning of a holy relationship. It only takes one mind. A holy relationship is a process. A holy relationship is not a title, not a badge, and not a new category of love. It is a shift in purpose. It is the moment the relationship stops serving guilt and begins to serve forgiveness. Forgiveness here is not performance, not superiority, and not conditional peace. It is a quiet repurposing of perception, from using the relationship to extract love to using it to extend love. This shift happens internally, long before anything looks different externally. The world calls this boring because nothing dramatic happens. But boring is just the ego's label for peace. Evenness is what love feels like when guilt no longer cracks the floorboards. The flip from external to internal. Special relationships depend on the outside: attention, reassurance, apologies, emotional currency. Holy relationships shift the entire emphasis inward. What am I asking this person to fix in me? What story am I protecting? What meaning am I assigning to their behavior that is really my own fear in disguise? The moment the purpose shifts, the relationship becomes a classroom instead of a courtroom, a mirror instead of a battlefield. And the darkness that rises in conflict becomes an invitation, not an accusation. This is forgiveness. Not forgiving what happened, but forgiving what was believed. The house with two doors. Imagine a house with two front doors. The first door is wide, noisy, and labeled "Guilt will fix this," and almost everyone uses it every day. That door leads to blame, rehearsed speeches, explanations, and nights where nothing changes. The second door is smaller and quieter, labeled only "Willingness." This door leads inward. This door leads to peace. And when one person chooses that door, the entire relationship rearranges itself around that choice. Forgiveness needs only one mind. Vision needs only one opening. Love needs only one welcome. The miracle is not when the other person changes. The miracle is when the need for them to change dissolves. What this looks like in real life. Defenses soften. Scorekeeping stops. Emotional invoices go unpaid. The past loses its script. The impulse to interpret fades. The storm inside starts clearing. And the relationship becomes steady, not dramatic, not performative, just quietly peaceful. This peace feels almost supernatural because it is. A holy relationship is not built by two people trying. It is permitted by one person willing. It is the shift from guilt to forgiveness, from demand to vision, from attack to joining, from rowing in circles to putting the oar down. It takes two minds to fight. It takes only one mind to heal. And so tonight, in this small classroom we call a life, two travelers sat across from each other believing they were divided by history, by wounds, by miles of misunderstanding. But in truth, what separated them was never the space between their chairs. It was the distance between what they feared and what they were finally willing to see. For in one quiet mind, an awe was set down. A grievance was released. And a relationship long held hostage by guilt began its slow transformation into something gentler, quieter, and infinitely more real. No thunderclap marked the moment. No choir sang. Just a simple shift in purpose, invisible to the world but unmistakable to the heart. This is the crossroads where every human story eventually arrives, where one mind chooses peace instead of projection, forgiveness instead of fear, and discovers that salvation in relationship was never a two-person job. It only ever needed one. And perhaps that is the greatest miracle of all. A reminder whispered through the halls of the Blackbird Night School and echoed here in the twilight, that the war ends the instant one soldier lays down their weapon. And in that single act, the world, quietly, almost shyly, begins to turn.